Good morning. Welcome to FYI. For your information, it is Friday, the 12th day of January already. Happy to have each and every one of you here with us. It's the 12th, folks. We got to get moving. We got to get moving those goals and aspirations that you started the year with. We got to pick up the pace. And it don't be like the government that's breaking promises every day. Hold fast to your promise. And that's why I started the year reading Atomic Habits, a fantastic book folks, of how if you want to inculcate good habits into your daily routine, how you go about doing that. Not just a passing fancy. I try not to make resolutions. I know deep down I said, I'm not going to live up to this. I'm not going to live up to this. I hope your year is off, it's off to a running start. This being the 12th day of January. Already, Debbie Collins, how is your year going thus far? 12 days in. Kyle Bino, oh my Lord, the fires, the accidents. Kyle Bino, how are you doing there, Kyle? And Siobhan McDonald. Hey, Garraway, Alger Garraway, how are you doing? Tommy Gibbs, we see. How was your year starting? Folks, you're still on track. You know, some folks have gone off already. Some folks have already gone off. How are things by your end? We'd love to know that. Folks, wherever you're following us from. Alexis Chomley, wherever you're coming in from this morning. Debbie Collins says loud and clear. Wherever you're coming in from this morning, please and thank you. Share that live and smash that emoji button as well. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Great to see so many of you joining us. We're going to make sure that we are on all the credible and valid places. So let's do that. Let's just try to make sure that we're in all the places we need to be. So you take the opportunity as well, folks. Don't let me hold you back. Take the opportunity and share the live and smash that emoji button. The Ryans who are in New York at the moment. Welcome to New York, folks. Welcome to New York. And we hope that you guys are going to have a great time in New York. And those other folks who are joining us from New York as well. Good morning. So we've just shifted up our set a little bit for Friday. And we hope we remember to use this set for Friday because we started off in the past using it. We don't have to worry too much about lighting and all that. And on Fridays, I wouldn't even come in a jacket. Sometimes I'll just call it a sleeve roll up, you know. I like today. I like the news still heavy. It's still valid and credible. But we can take it easy on Friday. We can take it easy on Friday. I'll take Galloway says it's sunny, Sean of Fortune. We can take it easy. Right? Easy like Sunday, we take it on Friday. We can take it on Friday. We can't wait till Sunday to start easy. Carlos LaRose and Jenna Cargill, Lyndon Gill, all the Gills here. Good morning, folks, and welcome. Good morning, Camille Cox, out of Region 6. What are the issues at your end, Camille? What's happening at your end, Camille? Good to have you on. Looking forward to seeing you at the National Executive Conference of the Alliance for Change at the end of the month. Camille, please and thank you. I know Camille like Rome. You know? Camille like Rome. She like to move. So we're going to be having that conference, the National Executive Conference of the Alliance for Change will be held in Linden. It's going to be held in Linden when we meet with our membership and charting the way forward for this new year. Fennell and Camille. All right. Lynn Finance, Tommy Gibbs, Annette Cummins, Debbie Collins. Good to have each and every one of you on the live this morning. How are you folks doing? Those of you joining us on Twitter. You're joining us on Facebook. Facebook. Lynn Finance, you there. Join us on the tube, on YouTube like Vashti Magnot. Good to have you. Kyle Bino's on the tube. Debbie Collins on the tube. Siobhan McDonald on the tube. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, we're so happy to have you folks. You know, it's a blessing to wake up with good people. It's such a blessing. How about some of y'all don't wake up rowdy? Don't do it. Wake up with a difference. Saturday nice, on a good note. Leon Blair says loud and clear. I love that all our technicians are on duty today. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Jermaine Griffith. Good to see you, Jermaine and Luan Hall. I did tell you my grandmother was married to Hall, eh? She was a little hot lady, you know. And talk to you a little bit about in the show about her. We come to a specific topic. My grandmother a little hot. It's only looking back, you know. You know the generation that always precedes us would have us believe that they were nice and upright. Pim. But when you grow up and you look at your family history, I take a deliberate look at my family history. A deliberate look at my family history. I want to make sure we got no jagabats, no trench crappos, tadpoles, cricketers, Philistines, or Pharisees. So I take a deliberate look at my family tree. She was a hot girl. She was a little hot too. My great grandmother, she a little hot too. I'm telling you about she too. I know the whole thing. I know the whole story, Lord Hall. Right? I know the whole story. Right? The whole story. Halls are good people. Is it Mark Hall, the musician, Mark Hall? Is that special Mark Hall? Oh, nice time. In the right place. You don't worry. Nice time. So you married Hall too? Mm-hmm. She was married Hall. Get the whole story just now. Whole family story. Them boys ain't got nothing to me, and I tell you everything. Crystal, everything I tell you. Whole story. She was married Hall. My grandfather, hold on, bring it back. My grandfather is Henry, John Henry. You see? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I talk the whole story before I close. The whole story. They ain't got nothing on me. You see? Luan, I know the whole story. The whole story. Yes. My grandfather, John Henry, lived in the UK. Lived in Great Britain for about over 30 years. Died and was buried there. Right? He got kids looking like Sarah Lynch. He got kids looking like Jane Miller. You know, Jane Miller could be my aunt for all I know. Jane Miller could be my aunt for all I know. John Henry lived in Great Britain for about 30 years. How old is Jane Miller? The Honorable British High Commissioner. Jane Miller could be my aunt for all I know. He sent us in photographs all the time. Never met them. Lily White, Jane Miller could be. The Honorable Jane Miller, you know, was buried there. 30 odd years, lived there. Oh, you should see his handwriting. The calligraphy. The man could mumble with a fountain pen. Some people could barely hold an ordinary pen. Fountain, yeah, it was art. When he held the fountain pen, it was mastery, calligraphy, art on paper. My only regret is that we didn't, you got mosquito here bothering me. My only regret, we didn't preserve some of those letters. Let's see how I gone off now. But I can come back to my grandmother. Oh, she was a hot tati in Shatang. Tell the whole story. You see, the whole story I can tell you. When the apple fall, don't fall far, you know. She was a little hot too. Great grandmother. God rest her soul, Nana. God rest her soul. So I take an active look at my family tree. Active look. I wonder who in this thing. I had Margaret in Rio the other day. I asked Naomi. His one cook up. I had them. They even know the guy. I had them. You see? I had Gloria. Black cake Gloria. You gotta bring something to the table in the way you come in. Gloria brings you black cake. Black cake Gloria. I had Debbie Collins too. Family expanding every day. Family expanding. See where this budget got to be proper? When you get a big family like this, you got to provide for everybody. Budget got to be proper, folks. We want to do a meetup. Let me alert you early. Right? Let me alert you. Friday can be a light day. Right? Friday can be a light day. Right? Friday can be a light day. You see, Margaret now being informed, she was added to the family. She's now being informed. Right? When I went to see Margaret Gallery, how come Margaret in this family? That's why I asked myself. One time I said, hey, Elizabeth, you here? Antonio, you here? My son was there too at Margaret's place. We joined Margaret in the family one time. You see Margaret estate. Margaret house alone. Margaret Nelson on the live right now. Margaret house alone, she's sitting on 10 acres. Easy in Somerville, North Carolina. Easy on 10 acres. These people that like one of me family. Proper people. Proper people. So, folks, it's going to be a light Friday. Y'all don't worry. We got it. We got everything. We know the whole story. That's why this budget got to be proper, because you want to be able to provide for your family. You got a big family. You got to be able to provide for your family. You see? Right? You see? So we're planning a meet and greet. Hold on, Margaret. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm giving you, what is it? This is, when it's not concrete. What's that word? What is that word? When the plans are not concrete. Give me one word there. Tentative. That is the word I'm looking for. Tentative plans. We're going to do a meet and greet during Easter. Locally in the 592, a meet and greet during Easter, and we're doing something in June. So in June, I'm hitting a big number. Most of them are fundraisers. Because you all know, I'm going to show you all very shortly the generator we want to show. So show that whether they come back or not, we siren. Right? So we're doing 2 fundraisers, and then the wonderful contribution a meet and greet coming Easter Monday, somewhere in the city. And then we're going to do something elegant, more elegant. I'm thinking at the end of June, I'm getting a big milestone. Right? A lot of people tell me I look like 36, 34, 35, 30. A lot of people, that's what I'm telling you, they tell me that. Don't contradict me now. They tell me that. But I'm hitting a big milestone. Right? A big milestone. And I'm going to use that occasion as a fundraiser to get us to, if we're not there before, we're going to use that as another. So, meet and greet fundraiser coming up Easter, and then we're going to do an elegant something. I do have plans to do a fundraiser between now and mid-year in Brooklyn, and hopefully between now and mid-year, hopefully tentative, between somewhere close by Margaret's End. Somewhere close by Margaret's End. We can do a fundraiser. Margaret lives in North Carolina. Somewhere between Georgia and New York. Atlanta, New York. We can do a second fundraiser there. Right? Because we got to get to where we need to go. So I'm just giving you those tentative plans as we're fleshing them out. Right? I owe Brooklyn a visit. And I want to meet some of y'all. I owe New York. That whole thing. The whole SWAT. Brooklyn, New York, Queens. A visit since I was there during last summer. All right? I was there briefly, passed through Brooklyn, but I was to circle back. Didn't get a chance to do that. I was captivated by the South. Captivated by the South. And so we're going to do that. Right? We can do that, folks. We can do that. 2 fundraisers in the US between now and September, and we can do 2 locally. Definitely know Easter Monday we can do something, right? We a fundraiser, and then we're going to do something also in June. As I hit that number, the high number, you see, It's not quite 50, but I'm getting there. I get it. I'm looking good. Folks, I have a picture in my mind as I grow older, right? Where I want my health to be, how I want to look physically. I'm working on that a little bit every day. A little bit every day, a little bit every day. Atomic habits, folks. Right? Atomic habits. Right? Atomic habits. So good to see each and every one of you guys on the live. And we told you guys, this is how we don't get funding from any place to bring you guys valid and credible information. But this is how we do it, by your love, your support, and your generosity. This is how we go to all the places and bring you guys all the information that we do. So that's our tentative plans, right? Kyle right on the money. Kyle right on the money. Check Kyle comment on the on YouTube there. Kyle right on the money. You're right there, Kyle. You're right there. Flesh and blood and reveal it to you. Flesh and blood didn't reveal it to you, Kyle. You're right there. You're right. Kyle's a prophet, you know. Kyle is a prophet, you know. Right? Kyle is a prophet, you know. Brother Kenneth says, write a book on the secrets of good health. Right? I'm like 20 pounds off from where I want to be with good health. 20 pounds off. I want to be somewhere between 195, 180, between 180 and 200. Somewhere thereabout. I stepped on the scale going to Region 1 and I told you, I was shocked. I said, rebuke your PPP scale. When I saw 222, I said, what? Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Thank you, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and P. Chang. Thank you, Plucking Chicken. I remember all the places I ate at in the US. Plucking Chicken, P. Chang. Thank you. Where's the cookie company? A fantastic cookie company in the US. What's the name of it? The cookies come in a pink box. Wrong pink box. Crumble. Thank you, Crumble. Remembering all of it. Thank you, Crumble. So the whole story. Thank you very much, Crumble. And all the other places. 10 pounds, 22 pounds. No. I don't want to be there. Who like that? Good. I on the roll this morning. I'll see pick it up in his spirit. Touche. Touche, Kyle. Touche. Pick it. See why his spirit please pick up things. That's the point. That's the point. When you spirit clean, you pick up things. Not just pick up things. You accurate like that. You fuck it. Clean spirit, Kyle. Leon Harding, Crawford Anthony Jarvis, Ram Sing Sing. Good to see you guys. Ainsley, Ben Morgan, Morty Innes, Forbes Meduse, Leon Harding said, manners and respect. Forbes and Carol and Morty. We'll have all of you on the live, folks. Let's take a swing at some of the things we're looking at this morning. Let's take a swing at some of them. Eva Juna, we see you there. Kishan Shah, what are your plans for the new year, folks? What are your plans? We were off air from the 22nd. We came back on the 8th, and we were using all that time, as we said. We want to reflect on the year we've had, and we want to plan for the new year. How can we do some of what we're doing better? And one of the things we said, we wanted to get closer to the people on the ground. And that's why, right off the bat, from the 3rd to the 6th of January, we were in Region 9, talking to people, looking at infrastructure work, looking at projects that are being undertaken, right? Trying to keep this installed regime accountable, and hopefully we're doing our part. What is your year like? What plans do you guys have? Go after those things. Folks, go after them. You know, I hate planning. You're never seeing any fruits of those plans. Ever learning, but never going to the knowledge or the truth the good book says. Go after those things. Go after those things. Please and thank you. So what we're following this morning. Let's start. Why don't we start internationally? As we talk about health and wellness, folks, is it Dr. Stephen Covey that said it? The best investment is investment in yourself. The best investment. Invest in your health. Invest in your health. That's why as the year started, my dentist and I have a close relationship this year. Got to do a physical as well, you know, as you're pushing on in age. You got to make sure everything clicking right. You know, I know a time can come when I bend down, I got to tie my shoe one time. I got to polish it and tie it one time because you're going down back then a little while. So invest, self-investment. Dr. Stephen Covey says, is the best investment. So during this year going to be punctuated with some period of breaks where we get a chance to reflect and refire. You see? Because we can only operate at our optimal if we're healthy. So we can invest in self. Remember, then there's a close relationship. You know? Somebody got to spend hours in your mouth. That's a relationship. That's like a marriage by itself. Close. Right? You know when you go to the dentist, ask your host the question, and ask them back the same question. What's your blood type, doc? Right? What's your blood type? I want to know about doctor the same way. See, what's your blood type? You know, what's your blood type? What are your plans for this year, folks? You know, God in it all too. God in it all. Many are the plans of a man's heart. That's what the good book says. But only the will of the Lord shall prevail. COVID-19 still with us. Believe it or not, still with us. And they're telling us this morning it's spreading across the U.S. Y'all watch yourself there, Margaret, Elizabeth, Naomi, Melorindon, come back now in the 592. Veronica Primo Rollins, y'all watch yourself out there. Still with us. And now this new variant, JN plus 1, PPP plus 1, I think I might have got it wrong. PPP 1 variant spreading across the U.S. I think we got some cases of COVID still lingering with us. Don't know if it's this variant, but some cases of COVID still lingering with us. This is the what? Long COVID now. Variants upon variants, folks. Serious business. Very, very serious business there. So we're watching that. Right? We're watching the variant, folks. Spreading across the US there. Like I like this background, little plenty. My God, use it every day. I like it. We started using this set last year. And then it was just pace and power, and sometimes we come on a Friday and we forget. But we wanted a lighter day. It's been Friday, a dress down day. Will be Friday. Right? I feel a little unkept if I can turn a jacket. But I'll see if I can take off my jacket, roll up my sleeve, pull up my foot even. You know, easy Friday. Easy Friday. So we're watching COVID-19, folks. Take the precaution. You know you got to social distance, wear your mask and so on, and wear your mask properly. Because some people feel wearing the mask under the chin is wearing the whole mask, you know, under the chin. Or the mask pulled down under the nose. But you say wear the mask, you didn't tell me how. Wear it properly. Right. Wear it properly. Wear the mask properly. So we're watching this. We got to watch it. We got to watch. See, we're in the region already. We linger. We're coming in for landing already. So what we pick up regionally. This is Trinidad and Tobago. The flu. In some cases, people think they got COVID, but it could just be the ordinary flu. In some cases, they think they got the flu, but it's COVID. That's why it's important not to self-diagnose. Too many people self-diagnose. Too many people. I know some people know what they're doing. They've been long at it and they know what they're doing. But I trust the people who study the thing. It's just me. I trust the people who study the thing. But us in the 592, since your neck back on this pressure, or somebody do me. Somebody do me. You see, your neck back on this pressure, I can drink a vitamin. That's self-diagnosing. Eh? If your chest feeling stiff, you even have the answer for heart attack. Oh, it's little wind. I got to drink a little hot tea here. I got to drink a little black water. Right? Got to drink a little black water. This mosquito testing me. Right here. I know the AC is that cold enough to tempt him down. Your chest feeling a little stiff. I can drink a little black water here, boy. Little ginger. Knock this thing out. Self-diagnosing. I like the professionals. I believe in that. I believe in that. Right. I like operate in the areas where I'm strong and delegate the rest. And delegate the rest. You see this graphic behind me? I ain't gonna try that. If you see the graphic I will put together for this thing. But we get the professional people and we say, this is what we want to do. And I say, hey, take this to your chest. Leave it to the professionals. Don't let me self-diagnose. Please and thank you. So Trinidad telling us 6 persons may have already died from the flu this year. So we think what we got is the flu, and we start medicating. Could be something totally different. Right? So I would advise, as far as possible, get professional opinion. That's where this whole government is already lacking, you know. Professional opinion. They're all over the place. Without a compass or a course. All over the place. Heard the vice president talking yesterday of a master plan for Georgetown. It seems that us and Kaiju News were just a surprise. A master plan. Like what? Where did that sneak up on us from? I know if you don't challenge that, right? If you don't challenge that, people go repeating that, oh, you know, people be working the master plan. Master plan of corruption, nepotism. Perhaps it's that. We're like, what? Hold on. Back up. The matrix kind of back up. Back up, Mr. Jackson. What? Master plan for where? First time we hear about this. You know, master plan is all well and good, but you actually have to have the thing. You know? And for people who don't believe in studies, for people who don't believe in studies, studies? What is a study? Why you need to study? Where you got me? Big say hip jack. Why you need to study? Trinidad says 6 may have already died. We got to watch that, folks. Well, we in the 5 line too long ago. Long ago, we were in the 5 line show, folks. Long time now. Dolly Anderson, Wendell Hudson, Vesta Hardy Rashawn. We're in the 5 line too long time now, if you notice. A couple of things we're covering, folks. It's serious. Wrong these parts. Budget. It's the first country in the world. I see people suck the teeth long before budget. Read. Long before they got to endure 7 hours of Ashley Singh. Done suck the teeth already. Right? Done suck the teeth. Because they know every budget we've had in the preceding years, right, they tell us that money's in there for public servants, and then at the end of the year, they're lashing your face with a 6.5. You expect something different this year? Surprise us. Last year, the National Assembly, we joined with them in the interest of the people of this country, appropriated $5 billion for interventions in the cost of living, ameliorating, mitigating the impacts of the cost of living. It's November, then people start implementing those strategies And they say they care. You get more of that. And especially as you see, we're heading into an election cycle. Jadru says the election is going to be November 2025. So by the time you hit mid-year, oh Lord, there's election cycle in there. Spending Wild West. But is his focus on alleviating the problems of the people in this country? He said no new taxes. No new taxes in budget 2024. One of the things we've allowed them to get away with is this stating that, oh, they repealed 200 taxes from the last administration. That's not so. And we've asked them, if you believe this so strongly, publish the taxes that you repealed, the 200 taxes. And for just edification purposes and education purposes, the PPP supporters should also, we won't rub it in the faces of APNU, these 200 taxes. List them for us, Mr. Jaglio. List these 200 taxes that we pull back. That's what should be the requirement. List them, the 200 taxes. Here are some of the other things they talk about that you can look forward to in budget 2024, as described by Vice President Mark Jaglio yesterday in his press conference. Take a look.
So clearly you are going to see the continuation of infrastructure, as we said before, of different nature. You're going to see economic infrastructure continuing, projects that will expand our productive capacity. You will see support for industries. You will see social infrastructure, that's community roads, health centers, the health facilities, education facilities, recreational facilities, large amounts being done in the communities themselves. You will see more help to vulnerable groups, significant support to children, women, elderly. There are specific initiatives that would tackle those in a major way that you will see. You're going to continue to see support for job creation and expansion of job creation. So I'm not going to get into specifics because a lot have been mentioned, things that are ongoing by the president, and the Minister of Finance will get into the details of that. But I can just assure you that Monday will continue to support the same progressive annual accumulation of wealth and welfare to the citizens of the country that we've embarked upon since we reassumed office. So it will be supported there.
Yeah. So there it is, folks. So look forward to last year's budget plus 12. Look forward to last year's budget plus 12 being read in about 7, 8 hours. So the biggest budget ever is going to top $1 trillion. Yeah. That's the headlines they want. Not that it goes to the heart of cost of living, easing the burdens of ordinary guys. No, they want headlines. First historic $1 trillion budget. Because the more you spend, it must mean you're doing something right. So it must mean you're doing something right. $1 trillion. Heating up the economy, driving up inflation. Because, lots of economic thinkers say the more money you pump in this economy, you don't have the capacity to spend it. There's going to be overheating. And that impacts things like inflation. Now, this is not my forte. That's what the folks say. You only got to read and find out. There's not rocket science. But it seems as though the people, they're going to sacrifice the citizens of this country at the behest of friends, family, and favorites. So you overheat, drive up inflation, increase the cost of living, and it's all well and good once we benefit. That seems to be the bargain they have made. That seems to be what they're looking at. Big buildings got to build. Big buildings alone is not a sign of development. No, it can't be. Please and thank you. It can be. That alone can't be the sign of progress. Please and thank you. It can be. Enter the Attorney General, who says massive. Everything now is massive. Used to be million. Now everything is in billions now. Massive law revision should be completed before year end of the first, before the end of the first quarter. Every year, AG promising us robust legislative agenda, especially in the area of revision of laws, among other things. Robust. The flag out robust is massive now. But we're not moving the needle. See, the devil is in the details. When you check and you see, they attend Parliament the way they attend the Public Accounts Committee meetings. Few and far in between. You can't get anything done legislatively like that. And then in a couple of days, they're going to come to Parliament. They want to stay all night. No consideration for parliamentary staff. All night they want to stay. Now, if you are coming on a regular basis to engage the business of the people of this country, you don't have to operate like that. You don't. When I was in Turks and Caicos, I made a deliberate effort as I was meeting parliamentary colleagues from across the region to ask them how their parliaments operate. In some places, in this region, this is not first world country. In this region, you already know how many sittings they have for the year. They've already been given the listing. They know we got 20 sittings, 25 sittings, and the dates they're going to have them. You see? That's how people with a plan and a robust agenda operates. But the only time we're seeing the people in Parliament is when they want money. That's the only time. So we're going to see them now, budget period, and then when they want a supplemental budget, we'll see them around mid-year, July time, and then we go into recess. The 10th of August is recess till the 10th of October. And then when we come out of recess, we can see them in December for another supplemental. Right? That's how they do it. Only when they want money, they come in. Money or nothing. They're going to stop this whorish attitude. Money or nothing. That's the only time you engage in somebody's for money. That's the little thing-ish. Money. Stop that. Massive law revision. How you can get if you only meeting 3 times a year? How you got that rigorous interrogating of those proposed laws so that we get the best? We tell them to send for instance, the local content legislation to a select committee. They don't want to do that. And now the private sector balling. Then the local content legislation not affecting them. Right? It's trouble with foreign currency right now. Trouble. And the government wants to bury its head in the sand like the proverbial ostrich. We ain't got no problem. It's Trinidad. Got local got foreign currency problems. It's Trinidad. We pay more for pounds. US? Trouble in the dance, folks. How we can get massive law revision and we hardly meet as a legislature? How are we going to do that? And that's what he says. But look at this one here. Alcohol, foreign chicken, cigarettes seized at number 66 village. This is West Coast Berbice. Number 66. Seized there. I told you folks, while I was in Region 9, pursuing the truth wherever it leads, valid and credible information, pursuing it. Folks there told me that they got senior functionaries in this corrupt administration who are part of a smuggled chicken racket coming through Brazil. Huge trucks ferry the smuggled chicken to Georgetown via Brazil. We're on that. I want the smuggled chicken people know we're on that. Right? You notice in the newspapers we learned an overladen truck was the cause of the Payara Bridge collapsing in a section. Night before the last, an overladen truck. Is that driver going to be charged? Is that company responsible for the overladen truck going to be charged? Have you heard that? All right. All right. So we acknowledge the truck was beyond the weight capacity. Is there a law for that? Oh, that's one of the laws we are amending in this massive legal agenda for national security. Right? And we can make the same observation here. Alcohol, foreign chicken, cigarettes smuggled at number 66 village. But when we hear, you think it's some little small man smuggling 2 packs of cigarettes and a vodka on custom? Big businessmen. But in report after report like this, you never hear a name. Right? You never hear a name of the person, the individual who's smuggling the chicken, who's smuggling the alcohol, who's smuggling the cigarettes. You never hear a name. Right? But a small man who pick up a cigarette, one, not pack, one, unlawfully. The guy will leave for 6 months, you know. Right? We have to go beyond just seizing uncustomed goods. We seize the truck, the van, the car, sometimes it's the ambulance carrying uncustomed goods. See? Sometimes it's the regional vehicle carried uncustomed goods. Yeah? No small man and smuggling alcohol, foreign chicken, and cigarettes at number 66 village. But in this corrupt society, we can get in the names. They gotta go after the big fishes. Right? Look at it, comments. And if you look at it on the ball, and it says 9 months for stealing a Sivan waste bins. 9 months. It's one bin they stole, you know. Valued at 68,000. And it comments for the win this morning. 9 months for stealing Sivan waste bin. But the man who's smuggling the alcohol, the foreign chicken and cigarettes. We can take this quantity. Go and try again. But for the man with the bin, go to jail. Monopoly. But the man who's smuggling the unaccustomed foreign chicken, the alcohol and cigarettes, we know the overladen truck that damages the bridge that can cost millions of dollars in repairs. He walks away. The company walks away. Friends, family, favorites, and flatterers. Edward Broom says, power corrupts. Edward is quoting Lord Acton. Power corrupts. Lord Acton says, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yep. So there's a couple of the issues we're pulling out this morning from the pipers at our end. All the blocks of Wardy must submit due diligence document by month end. Is the cart before the horse? Well, maybe that's how you always do it. So by month end, you must show you got the capacity now to undertake the venture, but you don't know why the block. It's not held back to front. Maybe it's just us. Maybe we don't understand all the intricacies that goes into these scholarly planning and ventures. Or a block of Wardies, right, must submit due diligence document by month end. This is your boy, Mr. Jack Dio. Authorities do all of that to show you got the capacity to undertake such a venture of such magnitude. Maybe it's just we. What do we know, eh? What do we know? Right? And on the previous issue, Andrew Griffith said smuggling food can be dangerous to your health. Very much so. We even gone into the health hazards that pose. Right? You know if you eat dog, if it's rat, if it's cat, it's what? It hasn't been examined. You might think eating chicken. Next thing you know, it's dog from South Korea. You just don't know. Right? But again, the markup for those businessmen can be high. They don't pay the tax to justify the markup. Right? But they can give you a price as though they pay the tax. They pass it to the consumer. And all are coming back to them. Due diligence. Due diligence. I want to give honor to President David Granger, who added more significance in the past to the arrival of the Chinese in this country, and added more pomp and ceremony. Today is the 171st anniversary of the arrival of Chinese in Guyana. And I'm thankful for the arrival of the Chinese. Because I might not have been here for two reasons. Two reasons. One, I would have gone hungry many days. Right? I would have gone hungry many, many days. You see? And secondly, gone many days hungry and died. And then, I might not have existed at all. And I'll tell you why. Again, it's the 171st anniversary of the arrival of the Chinese in Guyana. Going back to my grandmother. I know the whole thing. I know the whole thing. My grandmother's mother lived in Kitty. Tell you, I take an avid interest in my family history. And every time I get a chance to ask the elders, I ask them. Every time I get a chance to ask them, the elders in our family, I ask them. See? My grandmother was living in Kichi, Naomi. Listen to this. Naomi's family said, I won't bother to share this party. My grandmother was living in Kichi. And there was a Chinese fellow also lived in Kichi. And the man had a salt goods shop, you see. I tell my great grandmother was a hot girl. Right? And go into the shop. You see? He like her, she like him. Boom! My grandmother, Iris, came along. Just like that. Right? Because remember, in those days, you could get catch by just watching somebody. Right? Remember in those days, you could get catch just watching somebody. Yeah? So my grandmother, Iris, right, came out of such a salt goods scenario. Well, I would assume, unless my grandmother Pagli, my great-grandmother, that the goods had to be free. You ain't paying for goods no more. The goods had to be free. You see? And if I find out otherwise, listen, all right, the goods had to be free. So, but this is where it gets interesting. Right? My great-grandfather then, this Chinese fella, came from Hong Kong. I tell you, let's find out the whole family history. To give my great-grandmother the free goods. He gives you a lot of things, apparently. He gave her a lot of things. But back in the days, I've learned certain things. You could hear them, but you couldn't see them. Society wasn't tolerant. You could imagine a Chinese fella and a black woman in the 70s in this country here. You want to broke up this whole tongue or what? Yeah? Chung Sal good shop and Esmeralda's daughter mesh up and match up. You want to broke up this whole tongue? So my grandmother was born Iris Chung. Cheong. She was married Hall. So lots of the folks who my grandmother spent her whole life in education, who she thought over the years know her as Iris Hall. Right? Or Iris Johnson. Right? And even though she was never married Johnson, they ascribed Johnson to her because she was with Mr. Johnson, is who persons know my grandmother with for her whole life. But she was married Hall, but her father was a Chinese man from Hong Kong. Wicked bastard. You should just sell your salt goods. There's a woman in the village you're watching. The rest is history. But look story now. Look I know the whole thing. I know the whole story. I'm going to hit on something bigger. Right? I know the whole story. I know the whole story. Listen to this part now. The other part of the family tree. The other part of the family. So my great-grandfather was an immigrant from Hong Kong. Set up a salt goods shop here. He and my mother hooked up. My grandmother came out of that situationship. Right? My grandmother came out of that situationship. Irish Chung. What's the other term they call it? It was I seen the red table. I seen Jada. What's the other word? That entanglement. I know the man had a wife, had children, ni hao. What was? But she came out of that. Irish Chung, the loving woman she is. My grandmother, my mother's mother, right, was born Irish Chung. Fantastic woman. I give the other side of the family now. Hold on, Mark. That entanglement. That's my Chinese connection. That's my Chinese connection. But you understand the show done right here. The other side of the family now. My mother now. I'm blaming my grandmother, my mother. That's by my mother now. Hold on. I'm talking now to the people in Region 1, Region 9, 7. My mother now. So my grandmother was an educator, spent her whole life in education. That's all she knew. Right? Lived and thought in Berbice. My aunt Elizabeth was born at Erie Hall. Lived at Linden. Taught at Linden. Mr. Johnson had schools at Linden. Johnson High School, that is now the new Silver City Secondary School. There were people in education. You see, I ain't fall too far, you know. And my grandmother, as far as I know, wanted my mother to pursue teaching. Right? To come in the career path that she had followed. Those were the days young teachers would be sent here and sent there. You had the policy of populating the hinterland regions. Well, let's story now. My mother went to Matthews Ridge as a young teacher. And here is where she gave me this half skull. I'm an Indian man now, Mr. Duncan. Right? Aha, it's my fault. It's my fault I'm allowed. Right? My father's more Amerindian than he's black. You see? My father, my grandfather, my father's side, I recently learned, Rupert Duncan, he was from the Pomeroon, settled in Mabaruma, and went to Matthews Ridge for a little bit. While he was in Mabaruma, he met Olive Osario. This is the indigenous side of the family now. He met Olive Osario. They touch up there. My mother goes now to teach. She get distracted. She ain't teaching anymore. She met this young, dashing, half-skull Amerindian fella in the national service there. She is a young teacher. She's blown away and boom! Your boy pop out. Boom, I pop out. 1979. It was a Saturday, 2 o'clock in the morning. I find out these things. I curse me mother. What day I born? What time I born? Which hospital? Now all this is here. Sick, I gotta go and she word. All this is allegation. A Saturday, 2 o'clock. I find out these things. She went to the Northwest to teach, you know. She lived with man. Right? She with the Amerindian fella. Well, at least half Amerindian. In Matthews Ridge. His father came from Mabaruma, from Pomeroon. Right? Now, when you look at me, some young say, I always know you're mixed with something. Little devil. I know always mixed with something. You see? I can see it. I can see the Amerindian in you. I can see the little China in you. We all mix up in this country. We all mix up. It's just some of y'all don't want to admit it. Hey, your great-grandmother went to some Saul Goods man too. You see? Your mother get distracted somewhere in national service or something like that. And poops, you come up. Don't come around me funny. Huh? So I'm working to make, put this whole family thing as a feature film, or at least a series. Cousin Iris and the Chinese man. That's the name of it. Cousin Iris from Kitty and the Chinese man. Yeah, my great-grandfather on my grandmother's side was a Chinese fella. And my great-grandmother my grandmother on my father's side was Amerindian. You see? All of that. You see why he's so feisty? And he mated and so on. It's the indigenous blood in me, the Chinese blood walking in with African. And hold on. Right? We are a curious family. I got an aunt married Narain. My sister is married Pandey. I have another aunt who is married Singh. We got the whole country in one family. Indigenous, Chinese, Indian. You see my nephews here, straight. You wouldn't associate them with me. Narains in one family, Pandays in one family, Singhs in one family. You see, this is this country, you know. Where we get this race thing from? Last year, note I wanted to end that. 171st anniversary of the arrival of the Chongs, of the Chinese in Guyana. I'm thankful I might have not been here if it wasn't for promiscuous Mr. Chong, who should have been selling the goods, but he was giving the goods. I might not have been here, so I'm happy the Chinese came. Ever happy, good folks. For the people who came, the Chinese especially, I'm happy for them. Naomi wants to know if I got a little Jack Joe in my family. You see how she disrespectful? You think it's any and everybody in this family? Yeah? You think it's any and everybody in this family here? We can take the Pandays. We can take the Singhs. We can take the Narains. But Jack Joe, don't push it up. You think it's any and all sorts in this family? You think so? No, not a bit of it. Not a bit of it, folks. It's our final show. It's our final show for the week. And we hope, you benefited from the valuable, incredible information that we shared with you this morning. Not the family story. That's just, by the way. That's just the aside, folks. That's the whole family story right there. Hello, the whole thing. Right in the book, too. Right in the book. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks. Look out for the Alliance for Change press conference. It's coming up at 1 o'clock. Luan Hall and, her story. Luan Hall wants to know now if Claudette sing. That's not the kind of sing. It's not the lineage you sing. It's not the lineage you sing. Folks, have a fantastic rest of the day. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Share the live as you go, folks. Those of you coming back to watch the program, as so many people do, share the live as well. Smash that emoji button before you go. We look a little thin. Help others to get valid, credible information. It helps Facebook and YouTube to push their broadcast to other people who might not see it. That's what the effect of you smashing that emoji button does. Sharing it does. It sets to the algorithm at Facebook and YouTube, at Google, that people watching this thing, people interested, and so they naturally push it out to more places. Something interesting happening here, all these Chinese and American folks. Push it out to other places. So help us to do that and partner with us as well, folks. Do that for us. And have a great weekend. We're going to see you guys back later on in the evening for our final broadcast. But as for now, this is going to do it for us. Good. Stay safe. Waveney and Ethelene and Edwards and Debbie, stay safe. That's our time, good folks. And that's your program. Stay safe.